Today we will discuss how to get Siddhi of any mantra. Yes, I'll be giving you some very important techniques which no one talks about, which will give you Siddhi of any mantra. First of all, let's understand what is mantra. Mantra is a technology by which you can connect and absorb the energy of a particular deity. If you keep on chanting a certain mantra, it will help you absorb the energy of that particular deity. And the literal meaning of Siddhi is accomplishment or success. So in simple terms, Mantra Siddhi simply mean you have absorbed the energy of a particular deity in every cells and atom of your body. So the mantra will work for you in any direction as you wish, depending on the level of your Siddhi. There are multiple level of Siddhis, okay? And obviously there are some occult powers which comes with it. With Mantra Siddhi, the nature of the person also changes according to the deity. So if you attain a Siddhi of Ugra Devta or Devi like Ma Kali, your anger will also rise like Ma Kali. And if you attain Siddhi of Devta like Lord Shiva, you will like to sit quite more often or meditate like Lord Shiva. Everyone talks about Purashcharana, but the most important factor for a successful Mantra Siddhi is fasting. Let me explain how. I guess everyone has heard of astrologers saying Chandra ke Shanti ke लिए Monday को व्रत रखो, गुरु के शांति के लिए Thursday को व्रत रखो, मांगलिक उपाय के लिए Tuesday को व्रत रखो. But why will a deity or a planet help someone if you are abstaining yourself from having food? Why are they after your food? See, when you intake food, our body collects all the energy and uses it to digest the food, and according to Vedic Shastra and Ayurveda, it is first converted to rasa, which is plasma. Rasa converts to rakta, which is blood. Rakta again converted to masa, which is muscle, and then it is converted to medha, which is fat, and then asti, which is bone, and then majha, which is marrow, and finally shukra, which is reproductive tissue. So our body uses a lot of energy. In fact, most of its energy in completing this process. So if you are fasting on Tuesday, when the radiance of Mangal or Mars is at the peak, our body uses all the energy to absorb the rays of planet Mars. The 7-day week system originates from the calendar of Babylonians, and they have adopted it from the Indian system, which was used from centuries, and it is known as Vara. This system of naming the days with planet is according to the radiance of the planet on each day. So on Monday or Sombar, the radiance of moon is highest in a week. On Tuesday or Mangalvar, the radiance of Mangal or Mars is highest in a week, and so on. So if you are fasting on Tuesday, when the radiance of Mangal or Mars is at the peak, our body uses all the energy to absorb the rays of planet Mars, and if you add a mantra of Mangal, it will help you absorb the energy of Mars even faster. The astrologers saying आपका मंगल खराब है, आप पे शनि भारी है, आपका गुरु नीच का है, and so on. See, the planets are not harmful, okay? It is equal for everyone. It is our body not able to absorb the energy of a particular deity, or our body is absorbing too much of the energy and it is not in balance. So if you are fasting and chanting the mantra of a planet which is weak in your horoscope, it will get balance. Likewise, if you are fasting and chanting any mantra of any deity, you can easily absorb the energy of that particular deity to the maximum. That is the actual secret to Mantra Siddhi. The lesser you eat and chant, the faster the Mantra Siddhi. To complete the process of Mantra Siddhi, there is a process known as Purashcharana. And to understand Purashcharana, you'll have to first understand the role of 5 elements. Every living being in this Bhuloka is made up of 5 elements, okay? First, the earth element or the Prithvi Tattva, which signifies all the solid in our body. Our body has a stable structure and shape because of the solid parts in our body like bone, muscle, teeth, and so on. Second is the water element or the Jal Tattva, which signifies all the liquid present in our body like blood, saliva, sweat, urine, and so on. Third is the fire element or the Agni Tattva, which signifies all the heat in our body. The digestion of food, the vision in our eyes, and the complexion of our skin is also due to the Agni Tattva. Fourth is the air element or the Vayu Tattva, which signifies all the air in our body and it acts as the carrier. The blood moves due to the air pressure present in it. The stool and the urine also moves with air pressure, and any movement inside our body is done with air. Fifth is the space element or the Akash Tattva, and is the most subtle of all elements and is present in the hollow cavities of our body in the form of radio frequencies, light radiation, cosmic rays, and so on. All the psychic powers like astral travel, lucid dreaming, etc. comes from the activation of Akash Tattva. So anything which is living and is alive has these 5 elements. So if you invoke these 5 elements in a mantra, the mantra will become a living entity and it will be alive. The complete meaning of Mantra Siddhi is the mantra is alive and is absorbed in every cells of your body. So the process of invoking these 5 elements in a mantra is known as Purashcharana. The first process of Purashcharana is chanting the mantra, which is invoking the Akash Tattva or the space element. There is a general concept for number of chanting which says that for every akshara or letter, 1 lakh mantra chanting are to be done. For example, the Panchakshari mantra Na Ma Shi Va Ya has 5 letters or 5 akshar. So you will have to chant it 5 lakh times minimum to invoke Akash Tattva. Next comes Havan or Yagya, which is to invoke the fire element in the mantra. And the rule is 10% of the mantra chanting should be performed as Havan. So if you have done 5 lakh mantra chanting, you have to offer 50,000 ahuti with the mantra, that is 10% of the mantra chanting as Havan. Next comes Tarpan, which is to invoke the water element or Jal Tattva in the mantra. The rule is 10% of Homa should be performed as Tarpana. So if you have done 50,000 Havan, you have to offer 5,000 Tarpan. Next comes Marjan, which is to invoke the air element or the Vayu Tattva in the mantra. The rule is 10% of Tarpan should be performed as Marjan. So if you have done 5,000 Tarpan, you have to offer 500 Marjan. Finally comes Bhojan to needy people or saints, which is to invoke the earth element. The rule is 10% of Marjan should be performed as Bhojan. So if you have done 500 Marjan, you have to offer Bhojan to 50 people to invoke the earth element. This completes the invocation of the 5 elements in the mantra, and your mantra will evolve as a living entity, which is known as Mantra Siddhi. Now you can use the mantra in any direction as you wish. Obviously it should be for good purpose, or else the siddhis will be gone and you will be having a negative impact. This is a very powerful process if you have the patience to do it. I'll be explaining you in details how to do the process of Havan, Tarpan, Marjan and Bhojan and the science behind it in the coming videos. If you like my video, do press the like button and please do subscribe. Om Namah Shivaya.